When I was 25, I thought I had life all figured out. I had been dating Mark for 3 years, and he had just proposed to me on a trip to the mountains. We were that couple that people called perfect together, at least from the outside. We laughed a lot, shared hobbies, and had a similar vision for the future. I had a small, close-knit group of friends who had been there for me through everything, and 2 of them, Claire and Jenna, I trusted more than anyone in the world. When Mark and I got engaged, I asked both of them to be in my bridal party. Claire was going to be my maid of honor, and Jenna was a bridesmaid. We started planning the wedding right away, booked a venue, and even had matching bridesmaid dresses picked out. Life was busy, but good. Mark worked long hours in finance, and I was teaching at a local school while finishing my master's degree. Because of his schedule, I often spent evenings with friends or family, which he always encouraged, or so I thought. About 6 months before the wedding, I started noticing something odd. Claire and Mark seemed to text each other more than I expected. At first, I brushed it off. She was helping with wedding planning, after all. But one night, I got home from work early and saw his phone light up on the counter. The message preview said, "I missed last night already." I remember my stomach dropping so hard, it felt like the floor had been ripped out from under me. I told myself there had to be some explanation. Maybe it was an inside joke? But deep down, I knew. That night, I waited until he was in the shower and opened his phone. My hands were shaking so badly that I could barely type in the code. What I saw made my heart physically hurt. Dozens of messages, not just from that week, but going back for months. Flirty texts, late-night meetups, hotel receipts. And not only that, they were talking about me. Joking about how naive I was, about how she'll never know, and even discussing postponing the wedding so they could figure things out. I felt sick. My best friend and my fiancé, the 2 people I trusted most. I didn't confront them immediately. I wanted proof, something undeniable. Over the next week, I quietly gathered screenshots and saved them to a hidden folder. I talked to my parents, who were devastated, but told me to keep calm and think clearly. The confrontation happened one Friday night. I asked Mark to come over for dinner, and I invited Claire too. They both seemed a little confused, but agreed. I cooked a nice meal, set the table, poured wine. I think part of me wanted to see them squirm in the same room. Halfway through the meal, I put my phone on the table and opened the folder of screenshots. I slid it toward them without saying a word. The color drained from both their faces. Claire started stammering something about, "It just happened," and "We didn't mean for it to go this far." Mark sat there in silence, eyes on the table. I told them both to get out of my apartment and out of my life. Claire tried to follow me into the kitchen to explain, but I shut the door in her face. I canceled the wedding that night, called the venue, called the florist, emailed everyone who had RSVP'd. There were tears, humiliation, and a deep ache that didn't go away for a long time. For years afterward, I avoided even hearing their names. I blocked them on everything. I heard through the grapevine that they dated for a little while after, but it didn't last. Apparently, Claire cheated on him too. Fast forward 15 years. I'm married now, to someone who actually treats me with respect, and I have 2 kids and a career I'm proud of. One afternoon, I was at the grocery store when I turned the corner and nearly ran into Claire. She looked rough. She had aged far beyond her years. Her hair was brittle, her clothes unkempt. She recognized me instantly and tried to make small talk, but I kept it polite and distant. I didn't bring up the past. I didn't need to. I could tell just by looking at her that life had already dealt her the consequences. And walking away from that aisle, pushing my cart toward my car, I realized something. The best revenge I ever got was building a happy life without either of them in it.